So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one. I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a Nick Theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I do it.
We're not sluts.
We just love love.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Adam, and
This is Mrs. Atom.
you found us here at By the By, a podcast that we do. I don't know.
Mr. Adam is all relaxed and chill this evening.
I'm a bottle of wine into it, and we've just opened another bottle of wine. So
Yes, we have.
yes, we have. Hi and welcome. If you listened to our last podcast, we apologize. We had some major, massive sound issues, but this podcast, hopefully, we've got our shit together. And
Yep. Apparently, I had a bum microphone last time.
yeah, actually, I think what happened was your bum hit the microphone jack, and that's what happened.
Well.
So now we've moved to the kitchen table.
Yeah, it's possible.
Anyway, yeah. So here we are. What's new? What's going on? We've had. Dude, you have had some Tinder activity.
We also had a very nice date.
We did, but let's talk about
Yes.
Tinder activity first, because
Okay.
that's more surprising, I think, to everybody, because Mrs. Adam is on Tinder. So if you're in the Sydney area and you're on Tinder, all I can tell you is good fucking luck. That girl don't swipe right for nothing, and I don't even think she knows she can swipe up for super likes.
I do, but I have yet to find anyone that I've super liked.
Like I said.
I'm tough on people. I know I am. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
I have super high standards.
Well, yeah, and then you get super dumb people, like the
I
guy who,
do.
third message in, asks if he can eat your pussy.
Yeah.
Seriously, people, nobody says that. Nobody says that. I don't even say that to her, and I do eat her pussy. So, who asks that?
Yes, it was hi, how are you? You know, blah, 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 back and forth, whatever. Third message I get from him is, I want to eat your pussy. Seriously, would you go up to someone at a bar and say that?
Well,
no.
he wouldn't want to eat your pussy if it didn't look so much like a goddamn taco.
You'd have a fish head sticking out of there. Maybe that'll make it more appealing.
Nom, 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 nom. Anyway. Yeah, but had a potential date for tonight. Did he ever message back?
He messaged this morning and said he had a work gig that came up tonight.
And
so,
I can respect that, because
yeah.
he's a working man.
Yeah. Got to make money, right?
Yeah, of course.
Completely.
Did we reschedule, or are we...
Not yet. That's still outstanding.
Okay.
To get
Outstanding.
calendars to mesh.
Yeah. God, that's the hardest fucking part. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
But you had... So, was it just those two that you were talking to?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lady still, but that's more long term, I think.
Okay. Women. Fucking slow burn.
Yep.
Anyway, I had a really good coffee meet with a fella yesterday, actually, I guess. And that will turn into a play date in the very near future, perhaps tomorrow, actually.
He's
I think
pretty
he's back
cute,
in the
though.
area.
Yeah.
He travels around the greater Sydney area for work, and we had a coffee, and he's cute and smart, and yeah, big, gruff, burly man.
Mm-hmm.
I find that I like what I'm not. I'm not big. I like big. I'm not gruff. I mean, I'm not gruff, but I like gruff. He's got broad shoulders, and I have narrow dancer's shoulders, is what I like to call them. And he's got the full beard thing, but it's cropped close, and I couldn't grow a beard if you said I'd give you $1 billion.
I don't know. For that, I might feed you some testosterone.
I
or
try. I
something.
think really hard, like
Yeah.
grow hair, and it doesn't. But yeah, and he's an outdoorsy kind of guy, and I'm a Xbox boy. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. And then I've got another date on Thursday night. So back-to-back boys potentially. Well, Thursday night's a guarantee. I can already tell you that. That's going to happen.
So the takeaway is that Mr. Adam is getting lots of action.
It's true, but I have not...
And cute guys,
I have not
too.
been with a man in...
It's been a while.
It was...
Couple months?
I think it's been 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months without... Can you go 2 months without dick?
No.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Enough said. This is why we have the explicit marking on iTunes. 'Cause, oh God, we're really early into this and already kind of a mess. Yeah, so
That's all right. Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll let you know how that goes. That'll be fun.
Both guys are cute too, in different ways, but they're both really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they're not your kind of cute because they both have beards.
No,
Mrs.
but
Adam
I still
doesn't like beards. She's anti-beardy. She doesn't like rug burn, and I appreciate that. But
that's true.
I'm a big fan of the rug burn.
But even though they have beards, they're still attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're intelligent, which is what I like about them.
Even more important, for sure.
Hard to find. All right, so you can talk about our date that we had on Sunday.
Yep. So we had a date with a single guy who is claims to be completely straight.
He is. He's straight.
I
Boy
would
straight.
say he's completely straight. He's inexperienced in anything but he's
No
I'm
judging.
going to say curious in that he asks a lot of questions.
Yes.
Not to say he's going to act on anything.
No.
I wouldn't expect him to. But he asks a lot of questions. He just wants to know. He's from a very vanilla background. We talked about this in a previous podcast. But he's from just a very conservative background. Doesn't have a lot of experience with, I'm going to say, anything in the kink world, really. But very cute, adorable, even though he has a little bit of a beard, but at least it's not a big, full, mountain man kind of beard.
He's not a lumberjack.
No, he's not. Carrying on the conversation, he's funny. So, yeah, I think it went really well.
Right there, yeah. And, yeah, I actually, he's a lot younger.
Yes.
I mean, not a lot younger. He's...
Relative
to us, he's a lot younger.
Yeah.
And that kind of turns me on. I like the idea of watching some young, virile man just, I don't know. Plow is the word that comes to mind, but I'm sure there's a much more gentlemanly word I can say.
But even though he is younger, he, like I said, he can carry on a conversation.
Right.
He's intelligent, and some younger guys just can't do that. So.
It's true. Clearly, some younger guys, third question in, they ask if they can eat your pussy. So
Yeah.
This guy has yet to ask that. He really hasn't asked for any pictures other than face pics.
No.
And now that he's met us, he doesn't ask for pictures. We have given him a few pictures because we're the generous, loving, sweet people that we are. We like to share our pictures with the world.
Yeah.
The Atoms of Love on Twitter.
But it actually went quite well, though. So we met up Sunday evening, and I expected it to be like a couple hours.
Yeah.
We'll go home after 2 hours, whatever, one drink, done. But we ended up being there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So really...
A couple of good games of pool, and it was... I actually really enjoyed it. And he's a nice guy. I can see just hanging out with him and goofing around. I don't know if he sees it that way. We'll see. Yeah.
But he's been communicative since.
Yes.
And we're already trying to
Win-win.
figure out when we can meet up next.
Yeah. Potentially a hookup date tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Listen, folks, we have not played in a very, very long time, and we don't do good with droughts.
No.
I...
It's actually very unusual for us to have a drought.
It is, and part of me feels bad because I'm like, my partner should be enough for me, and all that socialist crap. I don't know.
But
I say socialist. I don't mean that. I mean society crap.
Yeah. It's been 6 weeks though, and that's probably the longest we've been since we've been together.
Except when we first moved to Australia and we knew no one.
Fair enough.
But then we would make up people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
No, I mean it is one of those things. It sucks. I didn't think that it would affect me as much as it does now, but I am at that point where, and it's not just my pleasure that I'm missing. It's that added pleasure of your pleasure. I miss watching you. I miss watching you as a third party. So if I could fuck you and have an out of body experience at the same time, then maybe that'd be great. Maybe a little weird, but
we can always record it.
It's not the same because I've watched the videos of us. Oh, by the way, folks, while going through an old hard drive. Mind you, this was a work hard drive as well. So while going through one of my old work hard drives, I found 4 videos of five of you and me fucking, and one of me and my first threesome ever. It wasn't; they were the first threesome, but the video I think that was our third or fourth time together. So that was exciting to
Yeah.
watch that. I'm like, oh, look, it's young Mr. Adam.
We totally
That was when I was still Master Adam. I had yet to earn my Mr. stripes.
we totally forgot that we had all those old home
I know,
videos.
it's great.
Yeah.
And I have a video of Mrs. Adams and my us consummating our marriage.
That's true.
God, we had some good. That was. I wish, unfortunately, the last 5 minutes of that cut off, so we missed the money shot,
Yeah.
which is really a shame because.
The camera ran out of battery.
Oh man, that was some good fucking.
Yeah.
We were in rare form that day, and we start
Wait,
out.
what are you saying? That it's not usually some good fucking?
No, I'm saying that we aren't. It's pretty starting usually
Well, okay,
because I'm start out in that video. I start out in a tuxedo, and you start out in full wedding regalia.
That's true.
And even after you take the dress off, because it wasn't a dress over the head dress, it was a dress that dropped down past your hips.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole time you've got your beautiful makeup, and I think you kept your pearl necklace on, and then you had your hair that was all done and beautiful. It's fucking hot.
Apparently, I need to have professional hair and makeup done every day.
Sploosh. Sploosh. Yeah, so that's what's going on with us
Yeah.
right around now. Like I said, hopefully I'll get some playtime for sure in the next 2 days.
Pretty sure I'll get some this week. It's a matter of
I hope
when
so.
exactly.
We'll have to work something out. We need to
We
get
will.
you.
We will.
We need to get you good and well laid.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you all could see her now. She's got a little tear in her eye.
Aw.
She's misting up on me. All right. So what are we talking about today? I set this whole damn thing up, and I have no idea what we're actually talking about.
So we're gonna go back to
Life back to reality. Wait, do we have to pay rates on it now?
I don't know, but we're not doing that.
Okay, good. That's our little secret. Nobody tell anyone, okay? Okay, what are we going back to?
We're gonna go back a couple of podcasts. When the one
Diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo.
the one where we were talking about our first times.
Ooh, yes, I liked that one.
But we ran out of time to talk about first times with our partner. There's a couple of things I want to touch on.
Okay.
The first one is the first time seeing your partner, so seeing me, with the same sex.
I remember that extremely, vividly in my mind. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to talk about it now?
Yes, you
Sorry,
are.
hang on. Let me I'm reliving it for a second. Hang on. I almost said daddy's reliving it because you can go, mama needs some playtime, and it's cute, but if I go daddy's reliving it, it's fucking creepy. Okay, hang on. Let me. So, was our first time? So now I'm misremembering because I think I know the first time I saw you with a woman, and I think it was with my first threesome people.
Yes.
And I don't have a good name for her, so I'll just call her Sweet Tea for now, because they were Southerners, and us Southerners are known for our sweet tea. Anyway, Miss Sweet Tea, Mr. Sweet Tea. God, she's gonna cut me if she ever listens to this. Anyway,
She will one day, don't worry.
was it her or was it Blondie?
It was her.
Okay. I love that you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say Blondie. Anyway, that was one of those great moments because he and I sat on a little sofa and watched the two of you on the bed. You know, and it's funny because I think about it now and I'm like, okay, it was good. It was sexy. It was beautiful but I didn't have the best vantage point. So I sort of had trouble seeing exactly what you were doing. Which I know is kind of an odd thing to say, but I wanted to be right up in that. I mean, I didn't want to be part of it. I was, again, back to the out of body experience. I would be okay floating next to it and seeing it, but where we were sitting down, and you guys were up on a higher bed. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that really turned me on about that was you treated her no differently than you treat me, and that is in that you see what you want, and you either pounce on it, take it, or just put it right in your mouth. I mean, it was hot. was hot. Yeah, so that's the first one. Um,
What I remember from that is she was laying on the bed
uh-huh.
and I was on top of her.
You were.
And, I was kissing down her body.
Mm.
And every time I got below the waist, you and her partner would both kind of get up out of your seat a little bit.
It's true.
And then I'd move back up and you'd sit back down. And
Yeah.
I'd move down a little more and
Yeah.
you'd kind of
Yeah,
hover up a little more. And it was really cute. And then once I noticed that, it became a game to see how many times I could make you go up and down.
Once your cock gets so hard, my erection can only get so big. It tips me over,
Yeah.
and then it lifts me onto my feet.
And eventually,
That's what was
after a
happening.
few times of that, you guys just came and joined. But
Yeah.
it was fun just to kind of to tease her, and then also to tease you guys at the same time
Yeah.
from afar.
It was hot. Oh, fuck, it was hot.
I like to tease people, so
You are, and almost to a fault.
It's true. There are times
You have
where
trouble listening. That's your only issue. That would be my
Yes.
only critique of you in the bedroom, is that when someone says no, you expect a safe word. You see no as a more of a suggestion.
It depends on in what sense, but when it comes to ready to move on, and I try to do, and with our common partners, I know more where their lines
Right,
are
of
as
course.
well. Because with new partners, some people like to be teased and some people don't, and
Yeah.
so it's a matter of feeling that out as to how far can you tease them and
But
and
you tend to
not,
push that
but
a little farther
yeah.
than you should.
Yeah, I didn't with her. I know.
No, because that was
Yeah.
our first group
Yeah.
situation as well. But yeah, because that was the first time I saw you with another guy. Um, which I'm sure that's probably one of your questions.
That was the next one.
We'll
Yes.
talk about that in a bit. But so that's the first time I remember. Did we play with them twice, maybe? Before we moved?
Yep.
Maybe 3 times. I don't know. It was always good. It was always good. I really like both of them a lot. They're people that I think if we had stayed in the city we were in the States, that we would have become better friends with them.
Yeah. I agree.
I would hope so, at least. She's got that same thing that you've got. I love, the brunettes. Gotta love the brunettes. Big eyes, big smile. That's a plus. Anyway, I'm trying to think now of the second time, because I think we've discussed this before. First time is always good.
Yeah.
Second time is now you're kind of getting into stride. And that had to be here.
For anyone serious, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the second, because I'm not going to count Blondie, because I was so wasted that I don't remember any of that. I don't remember who that would have been now. Would that have been
Sally, probably.
probably Harry and Sally? Yeah.
Because there was another one, but I think it was after them. I think
Potentially,
just after
yeah.
them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think Sally was my first one in Australia.
Okay. Yeah, that I remember that, because that's one of those rare times in which she's more dominant than you are. So rather than, I think I do remember that, because rather than
She's more forward,
yeah,
yeah.
she's much more mama takes what mama wants kind of girl. And that was really entertaining with you, because you're such a direct, dominant female. To see someone dominate you, it's always fun. It's always enjoyable for me, because that person ain't gonna be me. That was hot. Yeah, but I remember that, because at that point he and I had already gone upstairs, and he and I started playing, and
Yeah.
then you and her, because you and her I think started playing on the couch.
Yes, downstairs, yeah.
Yeah, we watched for a while, and that was hot. But then we got distracted with one another. Dot, dot, dot.
And you guys went upstairs, and we were downstairs for a while, and then we were like, should we go up and join them? So we went up and joined you at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which you did. That was good. Yeah, fun.
Because they're like, I don't think they're coming back.
That's great. All right, so do you remember? I don't even remember the first time you saw me with another guy.
So
Actually, there's a few times now that I think about that, but I don't remember which one was the first.
it depends on how you want to say with a guy. Because the first time that I saw you, I would say in any sexual form with a guy was probably our going away party in the States. There was a guy that was a fairly new play partner.
Yeah,
That
liked
was
him
all
a
oral. There
lot.
was nothing more than oral.
Yeah.
But you guys were really cute together.
He's so sweet. And
He's very sweet.
He's still a friend on the Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very sweet.
He's
He's
not one of the people I
cute.
cut recently. Because he's sweet. And
He
he's in
is.
a long-term relationship
He
now.
is.
He's been with the same partner now, I think, since about 4 to 6 months after we left.
Shortly
so
after,
they're
yeah.
coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sweet.
He has a good attitude on life, and I like
Wonderful
that.
guy.
Very positive.
Very
Yeah.
intelligent.
Yeah. So that was the first time I saw you with another guy, and again, that was just oral. It was, the two of you just kind of playing, and I joined in a little bit, but I was more of an observer.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah,
That was
that was really hot to see you going down another guy. He was going down on you, and yeah, that was really exciting. Make me a little trippy.
Do we need to go get a towel for you to sit on? Oh, you're sitting on a
Maybe.
cushion. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'll
We'll-
absorb.
We'll
It's
wash
fine.
that cushion, or we'll make sure the lady sits on that the next time she's here.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm gonna get a text.
And then, of course, after we moved, I would say that Harry was, and I don't remember the exact timing, but there was Harry and there was Blue Steel.
There's one before that.
Before Harry and Blue Steel?
Disney World.
Oh,
Remember him?
yes. Yes,
Yeah.
so we have Mr. Disney.
Mr. Disney.
Not Walt.
Oh.
But
Oh God, I still have a massive crush on that boy.
I could eat him alive. The problem is that he is 100% gay.
Yeah, and he was young and sweet, and
Ambitious.
has also been in a long-term
Yeah.
relationship since we left, about 2 years. Hey, gay guys, if you want to find your partner, fuck me first. Because that's what I'm learning is because you look at it, you've got the going away party.
Yeah.
I can't come up with a good name for him right now. We have Mr. Disney, and then we have Blue Steel. If you have sex with me, you'll find your long-term partner shortly thereafter.
That's true.
That's right. I'm that. What do they call that? There's a movie about that woman where she's the last woman you fuck before you found your.
Like the catalyst? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
before
what
you
the
find
movie
your-
is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I forgot about Mr. Disney,
He's
but
so cute.
he
oh,
was.
God.
I mean,
He's a little cuddly otter. He's
yeah.
all furry and.
He was adorable. I would have eaten him alive if I could have, but all I could do was sit and watch.
He really did, but he couldn't. He
couldn't.
wanted his first hetero experience, and he was so tempted, but he just couldn't do it.
No.
But
But I absolutely would have in a heartbeat. But at the same time, it was, again, I love to watch Mr. Adam with another guy. I don't know how to describe it, but it is just such a turn on. And just to see the caring between the two, and I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just...
I understand what you mean, because there's a...
To see how tender you are and how into it you are, and vice versa, your partner as well, and I don't know, it just, yeah, there's something about watching you with someone that just really turns me on. And it shows a different side of, it's a side I see of you, but it shows it to me from a different perspective.
And so I think that's the same thing I get with you. Is with you, it's that aggression, and I don't see that in me. And I don't know if you just don't see the caring or tenderness within you, but I know that typically you are an aggressor. You're a kind of grr kind of gal, and it's just that's not part of me. But when I watch you with someone, be it male or female, and I see that kind of grr aggression, I really like that because part of me. Is projecting myself into that situation as you. So thinking to myself, I'm the aggressor, which is such a rare feeling for me. Because I always play that more submissive, aggressy. I don't know. And I wish I could be more aggressive. I would love to have that in me. And I try.
You have your moments.
I have my moments.
Yeah.
And I really do try, but I don't feel like I do it.
But you don't have to. If it's not who you are,
I know,
it's
but
not who you are.
Yeah, but if it's who you want to be, doesn't that sort of affect
That's
that?
a whole nother discussion.
That's a whole nother podcast. We'll fix that in post. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, I saw him twice within 4 days.
Oh, he was adorable. I if we could go back to Disney and see him, that would be amazing.
I'm sure we could go back to Disney. I know that he would go out with us. We
Yeah.
would not be able to. I don't think we would see him in a sexual
Probably not if he's in a
way.
long-term relationship.
Yeah,
We have to
because he's
respect
been
that.
with the same
Yeah.
guy for a while. But
Yeah.
God, he's so cute. Anyway,
What's up with you turning people monogamous? That's crazy.
I know. I've been trying to do the opposite, but apparently, whatever. Yeah, especially, and this is gonna sound, and I don't. Somebody's gonna yell at me out there in the Twitter world. We don't have enough a big enough following for people to yell at me for this. But homosexual couples are much more likely to be open.
Mm-hmm.
Much more likely. In fact, Huffington Post posted something on Twitter today saying that the long and short of it was that gay couples find non-monogamy to build a stronger relationship. It was a really interesting article. We'll have to dig it up so you can read it later.
I would be curious. Did they address not just gay couples in using non-monogamy and becoming stronger, but then did they equate that to heterosexual
Well, the
couples?
problem is
or
there
no?
aren't enough heterosexual couples that are really. So if you
Okay.
look at the statistics between.
Because admittedly, heterosexual, homosexual, you're all the same people. And
Yes,
so if
that's
it
absolutely
builds a
correct.
relationship for one set of people, why would it not build a relationship for another set of
That
people?
was sort of the point.
Yeah.
They didn't come out and say that explicitly, but that was a very
Yeah.
well implied point. Like,
Okay. I'll have
look,
to read it,
look straight,
yeah.
people. Get your
Yeah.
head out of your ass. Was basically where it was going.
Right. I'll have to look it up and read it
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. So after Mr. Disney,
Yes.
that would have been Harry then. Yes.
I couldn't remember who came first, Harry or Blue Steel. Harry, I think.
I don't know.
They were close.
They were really close.
Yeah.
They were within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the difference, especially right off, which you and Harry have a different relationship now because, of course, it's evolved as we've gotten to
Of
know each
course,
other
yeah.
more. But at first, it was, it was very caring and gentle from the beginning. I feel like, of course, as you learn each other's boundaries, you can push that a little bit more and whatnot. And we've had some amazing experiences with him and with Sally, the four of us, either together, not together, three or four of us.
Yeah.
But
Subsets.
yes, which is really nice. I like having that relationship
Yeah.
that we can have either the four of us together, which is amazing, or a subset if somebody's out of town.
Any subset.
Yeah, absolutely, any subset.
Because all of us travel a bit.
Yeah.
So, it's
and
nice
it's
to,
really nice to have a couple that you're that comfortable with that you can do that and everybody's okay with it. There's
Yeah.
no jealousy. There's no, sure, there's some, oh, I wish I was there and could participate.
But that's different than jealousy.
But it is different. But the difference I would say with Blue Steel, and my guess is, and I'm going to totally make a supposition here, is that it's because he is higher on the Kinsey scale, I would say a little more towards the gay side than
Yeah.
towards the
He's
hetero
a
side.
strong 5.
Yeah.
Pushing
And
a 6.
so to watch him with you, and he's so caring. I mean, he was constantly checking in with you and are
Yeah.
you
Are you
okay?
okay?
And
Are
da
you
da
okay?
da and but he is much higher on the Kinsey scale, I would say, than many of the guys that we've been with as a couple.
I agree.
And that was fun for me to watch and to see.
I think
because
from a Kinsey
because
point of view, he and I are we're really close.
Yeah, because he is bisexual. I've
Yeah.
slept with him, and that's fine. But I would say, watching the two of you together gives me almost more pleasure, because of your chemistry and the way that you work together. And I think it is because of the communication, and the checking in, and the fact. I mean, he's got an awesome sense of humor. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole T-Rex thing.
Okay. We're gonna go back on that because that's funny enough to tell the story. But I want to preface all of this with, because I know that both of them listen to this, and we love both of you guys. I mean, Harry,
Absolutely.
he's something special, and I know what you're talking about because he and I both come from a similar location in that he's also not an aggressor.
Right.
He is not that kind of kind of pounce on you kind of guy. And when you get two guys like that together, often you'll end up, and I've had that before with another guy that was very similar to him. And I think that he was actually more inexperienced than I was when we first started
Mhm.
all this kind of thing.
But
But when
he's so playful, and it's fun to
he's
watch you two
playful,
together.
but it's different. It's really
Yeah,
different.
it is. Yeah.
Because he has that playful, soft. I use the word fluffy, and I don't mean that negatively. I hope that that comes across as what I mean it to be. But in that way that you feel comfortable and it's easy and it's soft and not all the hard parts are supposed to be hard are hard. God damn it, I'm digging myself a hole. But I hope what I'm trying to get at comes through. But whereas
It's
Blue
comfortable.
Steel
Yeah.
is that sort of he is well experienced.
He's more aggressive.
He knows what he wants, and like you, he's not afraid to either take it, but if he doesn't take it, he's not afraid to ask for it or direct it, which leads to this story.
That's an interesting a point that you make, because in our times together, he is a little more of a director.
Yeah, this is what I want.
Yeah, this is what I want. You go here. Even when the three of us are together and we're playing together, and you've slept with him more than I have, but at the times that have slept with him, it is very much, okay, I want you now, and he comes over, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting point, is that he is more of a director.
He's more of a director.
Yeah.
And, I can remember him saying things to you that I would have never said to you. And one that still sticks out in my mind, and I don't know why this sticks out in my mind, and I don't know why I don't ask for this. But he said, wrap your legs around me. Mm-hmm. I still remember that, because to me that's really arousing, to have a woman wrap her legs around you, but I've never asked you for that. You've done it a couple of times, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. But it's weird.
It changes the angle, too.
Is it bad?
No.
Oh. Why don't you do it more often then?
It just depends on what we're doing.
Okay. I'm not, like, it's just out of character for me to ask for what I want.
Also, I think at the time he was lifting me up more, so
Well, yeah,
yeah.
He's muscular. Sploosh. Anyway, so he was going down on you. And I was performing I'm going to say rare, and I'm going to stipulate that with how many people, like, on purpose, because occasionally it happens. It's more likely to happen with women on accident than it is to happen on purpose. I think the colloquialism is "who will toss my salad," but analingus.
Yeah.
Which is probably a whole nother podcast. We could probably talk about all the inguses. My family members. But yeah, I was going down on him, on his ass, but I had my hands on his ass cheeks.
Either on his cheeks or on his hips, or somewhere around there.
To get better angle and to get in there. Because if you're going to do something, you fucking do it right. That's the way my mama taught me.
You don't just half-ass anything.
I don't. God. Correct. I do not just half-ass analingus. But he stops going down on you, turns around and looks at me and goes, "What are you, a fucking T-Rex? Reach those hands around and give me a hand job."
And it was awesome because he was kind of serious at the time.
He was serious.
He was like...
There was no joke. It was like, "What are you, a fucking T-Rex?" I don't know if he used fucking, but in my head now he did. But yeah, he was like, "What are you, a T-Rex? Reach around and give me a hand job." Yeah, so...
and of course we all burst out laughing and for a moment, and then we continued on, and it was all good.
Yeah, from then on, I learned to reach around. There you go.
Because you're not a T-Rex.
There you go, boys and girls. I ain't no fucking T-Rex.
Yeah, but and again,
but that's the kind of sex that we have with him.
Yes. And that actually does exemplify the directorship a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to ask for it. Mm-hmm. I find that there's something, and maybe it is because I'm more submissive, but there's something so arousing by that. I love when somebody just says, "This is what I want. Fucking do it." Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Now he's monogamous. Fucking people. Non-fucking people. I break gays.
Apparently. Well, they're still gay. They're just monogamous.
Right, but they're supposed to be open.
You break open people? I don't know.
Well, do you remember there was that really cute dude that we had drinks with with the
Yes.
beard, and then like
Yes.
the day, like the week I was gonna like we were gonna hook up. He and I we were gonna hook up. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've got this relationship that with the guy that I met and on Grinder, and I really want to see if this is gonna work." They're still together.
They're still together.
They're happy. They travel all over fucking Australia.
We saw them at Sexpo.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely people. I mean, wonderful guy. Handsome and
Yep.
sweet and kind. And his boyfriend
But
looks
you turned him
adorable.
monogamous.
And I turned him monogamous.
You're not doing your job very well.
I'm doing a disservice to non-monogamy. Anyway, now I'm depressed.
Well, let's move on to the next question.
I'm going to get laid tomorrow, so that's all right. I'm going to get laid tonight, but I'm going to get plowed tomorrow.
Well, I was just going to say, laid with me and laid with someone else, not the same.
It's different. It's
yeah,
different.
yeah, completely.
Hitting a whole different button. Sometimes you want to be the presser. Sometimes you want to be the pressee.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry.
So the next question, which follows on the heels and we sort of touched on earlier, is when. Let's talk about the first time that you saw me with the opposite sex.
Okay, so I have to be honest and say that when I saw you with the first the first
Yep.
group thing that we did, I don't know, we'll call him Mr. T. She'll be Sweet Tea, he'll be Mr. T. Suddenly, I think it's hilarious because I pity the fool. I think he would really appreciate that. Admittedly, I don't really remember it. I really don't because I was focused so much on her.
Mm-hmm.
At that point in our relationship, I liked you. Don't think that I actually would use the word love you. You were a friend with benefits. We were more than mutual masturbation, but not exactly a couple.
Friends.
Yeah, we were play friends. I
Yeah.
really liked you as a person, but love is different. So I think for me, there was a switch that happened when I actually moved into the love category. I really focused on you and your pleasure with other people. So I remember you with him, but I don't. It's not vivid.
I will say that though that time, or at least when we were all four together, we were more focused on her. That was the setup, and that's
She's
how
easy to focus on.
And that's
I think
how
that's
it
the thing.
was. Yeah, we were all more focused on her, and so I think everyone. This might sound terrible, but everyone else's pleasure was secondary.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Not like in a bad
It wasn't
way.
because she asked for
No,
it, or it just
no,
sort
no,
of that's
no.
the way it naturally happens.
Right.
And
We
there
were
are
all
people out there
focused-
that are like that. If you're not into the group scene,
Yeah.
you'll find people that that their pleasure. So you'll find people who like I'm a pleasure giver.
Mm-hmm.
You are also a pleasure giver, but you're more of a receiver. So it's much like the Kinsey scale. You'll find people that on a scale of 1 to 10 of receiving pleasure and giving pleasure, they enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
like I would consider myself an 8. I'd much rather give pleasure than receive pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And I would put you at probably a strong 5 or 6, being you'd rather give pleasure than receive pleasure. And not that she doesn't, I don't want to make her sound selfish,
No,
but
no.
she's easy to please as
Yeah,
well.
no, she's easy to focus on, and I mean, I remember at some point, you might have been going down. I don't know. You were somewhere in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really see you that well, and she was.
That means we were all happy.
Yeah, and she was in front of me. Maybe she was going down on you. I'm not sure what was going on. But she was in front of me, and her back was towards me. And I was kind of, stroking her back, down her back, and down towards her ass and whatnot. And I was doing that while he was behind me, doggy style.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's that kind of thing, in that we're all focusing on her, and that, you guys were into something or another, and then I was at the same
But
time.
both of you all were facing her.
We were facing her.
Yeah.
I was feeling her at the same time that he was, going doggy on me. And so it was, a little bit of, sure, we're all getting pleasure from it. I mean, we're not going to deny ourselves of that. But at the same time, it was centered towards her.
Yeah.
And it was...
She's also easy to look at.
She is. And that soft feminine skin,
Yeah.
there's something about female skin that is softer
She has
than
probably
boys.
some of my favorite skin I've ever touched.
Yeah.
And that's including you. And I don't mean to insult you,
No.
but that girl's got fantastic skin.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you mean. It's hard to explain. I think this I think they are why I like puppy piles, because it was very easy to puppy pile with them, where all of us are sort of just together. And although he and I didn't play a lot, um, he and I didn't play a lot. It wasn't that big of it wasn't that big a deal. Um, so yeah, yeah. So
Cool.
next.
Um, that's really it. I'm trying
Well,
to think of when I saw you with the opposite sex first, and I don't. It would have been her for
yeah, I guess
sure.
so. Yeah, yeah.
But I would say that anytime I see you with the opposite sex, what I love about watching you with a woman, and it can be different with a guy depending on the guy and how things go, but with a woman, you are so intense and gentle. And
You
and
said that same thing
it's
with a guy.
your gentleness with a guy is different than your gentleness with a woman.
How so?
It's more, there's a softer feel to it with a woman. And I don't know how to describe it. I can picture it in my head and I could probably act it out, but that's not going to do any good because this isn't a video thing.
Next
Um,
step, vlogging.
but it's to you you have this caring about you that I think comes across more. Maybe it's because you're treating the female form more gently, um, but you're slower in your movements.
I try to be very deliberate.
Oh yeah,
I try
deliberate's
to
a
be
good
much
word
more
for it.
deliberate with women than I am with men.
Deliberate's a good word for it because while it's very clear that you care about guys, it's that slowness and that I think deliberate is a very good word to describe how you are more
You
with
know,
women.
and for me, the last people that we played
Yeah.
with, Tony and Maria, um, Maria was, I wanted to be very deliberate with her,
Mhm.
very focused on her. Um, Although I was watching you guys out of the corner of my eye and occasionally sneaking peeks at you two. Um, I like, I don't know, I like that. I think that, um, and I do treat guys differently than women. I know that, but I think that when you're with a woman, that all your movements should be deliberate. Um, but I'm more deliberate with you than I am with other people. You cross a line. You're weird. that's and
We
this
we all know that.
that's what we call romance around our house.
We all
Bitch,
know that.
you
It's
weird.
okay.
No, but you're weird in that uh, I know I treat you differently than I treat all other women and all other men, but arguably I feel like I should treat you differently than all other women and all other men. But I'm both deliberate with you and at times a bit careless about things.
It's situational.
Yeah, it's completely
Yeah.
situational. But
Yeah.
yeah, um, I don't know.
Yeah, but I'd say watching you with another woman though, it's like I said, there's something about watching you with a man that I love, and it just turns me on to no end. But then I would say that with a woman, I see love perhaps more coming out of you, and I don't know how to describe that to the listeners other than just there seems to be an extra bit of care. Just it's a different look to you.
I don't think there's a. It's
and it,
funny.
and it's probably not actually care, but it's a slowness. You don't move quite as quickly down the body. You
Yeah,
take an extra second to kiss the neck. It's
yeah.
it's that extra little bit that it's just it might be a half second or a second longer. Your hands may linger just a touch more than they would on a guy.
It's
Um,
interesting because I don't even notice some of that, and I'm starting to dissect it, and I'm wondering because I'm trying to think about like male, female, female. I'm sorry, male form, female form in front of me,
mhm,
whereas, and it's funny, and this is probably going to sound sexist or whatever, but women, it's the curves.
mhm.
Women for me are all about the curves. I like the transitions from straight lines to straight lines. It's those, the cheekbones, the neck bone, the curve of the breast, the my favorite part of a woman is the cleft just below the ass cheek, between the top of the thigh and the ass. I love that part. with the woman, they're all curves, and I feel like I can be softer or should be softer. But men are all straight lines, and with a straight line, I'm much more aggressive.
That makes sense.
I don't
Yeah.
know, and it also, I mean, you can look at it from another angle in that with guys, let's be realistic. 90-ish% of the time, I'm a bottom.
Mhm.
But with women, you're always the fucker, not the fucky. So perhaps that's it. I am always bottom with men, always top with women.
Right.
So the question would be, when you're pegging, do I respond differently than when we're having straight uh, traditional sex?
Yes.
Is it similar? Is it a similar difference?
No, it's different still again.
Of course it is.
But that could also be because I'm different, because I am much more aggressive when we're pegging.
Yeah.
Um, and you are definitely much more of a bottom then. And so it's neither of those situations. It's
Hmm.
you're just simply a receiver. And so, and even in the foreplay part before that, you're much more submissive. It's not a matter of delicate or masculine or anything. It's just that you're much more submissive at that point.
Interesting. I don't even really notice that,
Yeah.
honestly. And it's funny. I mean, it makes logical sense to me, but I don't
Yeah.
realize that I'm doing it. Huh, it's funny.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All the many facets
Masks.
to you.
We all wear
Yeah.
masks.
Yep.
It depends on your situation, I reckon.
Situation, mood,
Yeah.
what's going on. Yep.
All right. So, what we got? Is that we wrapping up, or
I
we
think
got a
so.
question?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We had a question from a listener that we can talk about if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that. We got some time.
Yep. So this particular listener was asking us about children in the lifestyle.
Good question.
And they asked if we have children, if we plan on having children, how does that affect the lifestyle, all of that. And so we had a little bit of back and forth with them, but we wanted to go ahead and address it because I know it's, for anyone who's not and maybe considering it,
Yeah.
it's definitely a concern.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a good concern. I mean,
Yeah.
children are paramount. They're important. They should take priority over everything else. Arguably, maybe your partner. I think that your partner and your children should at least vie for first and second positions in your world. Um, as a side note, I can tell you from firsthand experience that your partner should be first. Don't let work become first. So many of us so easily let work come over our partners, and that's a mistake. The only person that should come over your partner is you.
Terrible.
See? See what I did there?
Yes, I do.
I'm very proud of that. I didn't even know where I was going when I say it. But yeah, but kids, that's a good question. We don't have kids. We will likely, and I say this for probably 98% certainty.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yep.
Never have kids. We would be amazing parents. I have no doubt about that. But it's just not in our lifestyle.
It's not something we desire.
And I'll fully admit that if I had met you 10 years ago, if we were married 10 years ago, I would want kids. You're gorgeous, you're intelligent, you're good breeding stock, and people like to fuck you. I think that's a good thing to have.
Good
I think
hips.
we need
Good
more
breeding
good
hips.
good breeding hips. I think there needs to be more of that out in our reality. And some people out there would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're thinking about kids like that." You blah blah blah. Look, the long and short of it is, she makes me happy. At some point, she was a kid, and to think that that our kids could grow up and make somebody as happy as she makes me, I think that would be that is what true parenting is. A true successful parenting job is. I think that'd be good. But yeah, we do not have kids, and there are no children in our future.
No.
However, I'll let you talk about the friends with kids.
So we do have a fair number of actually of our friends with kids. We
I'd say
have
half of them. 50%
uh,
of our play partners have children.
easily, I would say 50 to
Maybe
60.
more.
Yeah. So some of our play partners don't, and they're in the same boat as us in that they don't particularly see kids in their future and probably never will have. That's fine. Um, but we do have quite a few play partners that have children, and they're all spectrum of ages from baby all the
Mm.
way up to 11, 12, I think is the oldest, something like that.
I think one of our friends has a 15-year-old,
Oh,
but I may be
maybe.
wrong on that.
Oh, no, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We do, yeah, up till so teenage age, and it is interesting. And you look at it, and they take different, depending on the ages. It affects, of course, playtime differently, but they all balance children and the lifestyle very well. It takes planning. We always have to schedule things with them, which is fine. It's not like you're gonna call them and be like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to come over?"
It's
Blah
all
blah
about the seven
blah.
P's. Seven P's. You know the seven P's, right?
No.
Um,
Oh yes, okay.
fuck, I forgot the
Proper.
seven P's. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
There you
Proper prior planning prevents piss pour performance. Yeah, 7 P's.
go.
Whew, damn, I need
Yes.
more wine or less.
So it does take a lot more planning with them, and that we have
Yeah.
to say, when get schedules together, who's available when, whatever. With the younger children, I think it's easier to leave them with babysitters. With older
Yep.
children, you tend to get into sports events and school things and whatnot
Life
going
gets
on.
in
Yeah,
the way.
things going on at nighttime during the week, so weeknights become harder. Weekends are very much the same way, and so I do recognize that our time with these people is extremely valuable.
Precious.
And the fact that they're willing to go to the effort to get a babysitter and to come out or whatnot, that means a lot because it's a
Yeah.
lot of effort for them.
Yeah.
And there's times where we'll go to a play partner's house and they have children, and we love children. We don't have any
Oh,
ourselves.
absolutely.
We don't
We're the
plan on
best
them.
aunt and uncle fucking ever. We will buy your kids a drum set, a kitten, and an espresso machine for Christmas. Those are the kind of aunt and uncle that we are.
Yes, yes,
And we'll
absolutely.
get them riled up. We'll teach them how to play the drums. We'll teach them how to shave a kitten.
Mm-hmm.
We'll teach them how to shave their pussy. And we will teach them how to make a proper cappuccino.
Well, that could come in useful, actually. The
I know,
parents
right?
might appreciate that one.
I think Danny, if we could teach his kids how to make a proper
Yeah.
cappuccino, he would make us another theme song.
Probably. So yeah, so it's like I said, there's times we go over to their houses and we'll play with them and usually stay the night depending on who's around, and because admittedly we usually drink too much to drive home afterwards, and
Responsibility.
yes, and so we just stay the night. So it definitely is possible. You just it's all in how you approach it.
Absolutely.
And some of our play partners, it depends on the age of the children as well. Of course, the younger kids don't really understand, don't really care, let's be honest, what goes on. As they get older, they may notice, they may see something, and so, some of our friends are very open with their children about what goes on. Others, they're not at that point yet, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter. As long as they handle it within their family, that's what's important.
And
But
it's all about priorities as well. You'll make
Yeah.
priorities for things that are important to you. And if swinging or group play or whatever is important to you and
Mhm.
your partner, then you will make time for it.
Figure it out, make
You'll
it work.
figure it out.
Yeah.
And to expand a bit more on what you're saying, we've got friends who have children, and the lady in this couple has told her child that she's bisexual,
Hmm.
and has discussed that if mommy wasn't with daddy, she'd probably be with another mommy, and they've tried to explain this to their child, and it works. And then we've also got a couple friends that I can remember vividly a time where the four of us were downstairs and the kids were upstairs, and we were doing body shots off of you, tequila body shots. If you've never done a tequila body shot off of Mrs. Adam, I would highly recommend it. Anyway, yeah, so we were doing tequila body shots off of you, and like minutes. Like we're
I
talking.
would have said 30 seconds.
We're talking. Yes, yeah. I would have said 60 to 90 seconds after you put your dress back on.
Mm-hmm.
One of their kids came down the stairs, wanted, "Mommy, Daddy, I want a glass of water."
Yeah.
And it was one of those, if that kid had been a minute faster, they would have seen Mommy sucking lime juice out of your belly button while you're naked on their kitchen counter.
Yes.
So that's the point, folks. You can make it happen. And it's a kid,
Kids don't
kids
notice.
bounce
Kids
back.
don't care. Yeah.
And people can say we don't know, we don't understand children. I fucking understand children. My mom ran a daycare. I can remember a time where my mom had, 8 children in diapers. I've changed more diapers than most mothers of triplets. Kids bounce back, and the other side of that is, if you tell a child, you're dreaming, or you tell a child you're the truth or whatever, they're gonna believe you because you're the adult. You just have to, you be honest or cleverly deceptive, believably deceptive, and the kid's gonna go with you. Let's
It
look
also
at
depends
Santa
on-
Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy.
It also depends on the age of the child, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
As to how much information they need. If they're wee little
Don't try to tell your
kids-
18-year-old son that he's dreaming.
Yes. And if they're wee little kids, they don't really care. Ultimately, they're not going to remember or
No.
even, the next...
If you make a big deal out of it, that's when they'll remember
the next day, they're not even going to remember if you ask them, more than likely.
When you freak out, they freak out.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, the long and short of it is, we have friends with kids.
Yes.
They make it work.
Yes.
It's about priorities. And at the same time, us being on the other side of that equation, we understand that they have kids and those kids are priorities. And so we know that we may not see them as frequently as we might like to. And we know that if we're going to get together with them and they call and say, "Oh, the kids are sick," or "This came up," or blah, 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 it's fine. It's not
Yes.
a big deal. Life
The
happens.
kids take priority.
Yeah.
We recognize that. We want those kids to take priority. If
They
they
should.
didn't, then we probably wouldn't be play partners.
Yeah, yeah. And so there is some give and take there. It does make it perhaps less spontaneous, but at the same time that doesn't make it any less fun.
Agreed.
And and us, admittedly, since we don't have children, me seeing them with their kids and being able to interact with the kids, it does provide an extra something special that is really kind of nice. Because like I said, we get to be that aunt and uncle that, maybe not as much as we'd like to, but we get to be that aunt and uncle that, you can have fun and you can go play and then, okay, bye-bye, we're going home.
Well, I will say, growing up in a family with no children at all, we were fortunate enough to be invited to spend Christmas with some of our play partners. And they have children. And one of their children stormed into our room at 6 a.m.?
6 a.m. Christmas morning.
Maybe 6:05 perhaps. And she screams, "Santa came!"
She did a little twirl and ran out of the room.
And then she spun out of the room. That still I don't think I'll ever forget that. That was one of my favorite Christmas mornings ever.
Yeah.
To watch those kids open their presents, and it was fantastic, and it was such a great experience, and to be able to share that for anyone to open their home up to 2 random people, really, it was really sweet, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so, but the point is, you can have children and still live in this kind of a lifestyle. It's
You just have to find the balance that works for you and your family.
One does not preclude. It's not an XOR. One
No.
does not preclude the other. You just have to find that. You said it perfectly. You have to find that balance. And some people find that balance very easily and very well. And admittedly, some people don't. And that's just something you have to do. You have to work through. So, yeah. But that's children in the lifestyle. I mean, from folks who have no children.
Maybe we should have someone on with children at some point and get their perspective.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I can think of a couples
Yeah.
that would be good to sort of touch on that. In fact,
So maybe we'll do that in the future.
yeah,
but,
I can just about guarantee we'll do that in the future. So, yeah. Do you have anything else over there?
Nope, that's it for tonight.
I like this. This is good with having you control all the shit, because in the past I've controlled all the shit, and it's a pain in my ass. I just want to do the tech stuff, and you do all the content stuff from now on.
We can work on that.
Awesome. All right. So if you want to help Mrs. Adam do the content stuff,
Please help me.
please feel free to email us at theatomsoflove@gmail.com. You can follow us. We would love it if you followed us on the Twitter at the Atoms of Love. We're at something 700 and something people, 760 something followers right now. We have a very special picture for when we hit 1,000. It is.
It's a fun picture.
It's hilarious. It's sexy. It's hilarious. It's erotic. It's hilarious. Yeah, I love it. I think it's a great
and
picture.
Swinging Down Under will appreciate it even more.
Yes, at Swinging Down Under have already commented on it and have they're trying to pick up our peoples because they want to see it actually posted. Because I don't think D thinks we'll actually post it.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, I'm gonna post the fucking shit out of that the second we hit 1,000. Anyway, so yes, follow us at the Atoms of Love. We are now trying to get folks to comment on us on iTunes or wherever your podcasts are sold. We're trying to spread out a little bit, get our message out there a bit more. If you think our message is positive and you want to see more of it, the best way to do it is through Twitter or to comment and give us a review on iTunes. We would really appreciate it. And we promise to give you a shout out by name. Ooh, that's how it all begins. Then later you're fucking Mrs. Adam. Or me.
Or both.
We should totally pimp ourselves out for reviews.
Really?
She's looking at me. I'm just kind of curious as to how many people would review us in order to have sex with you.
I don't know. We could look at that and see.
Okay, if you would
Yeah.
if you would review us in order to have sex with Mrs. Adam, direct message us or email us. We're not going to say it's going to happen. We're just kind of curious as to how many people actually would do it. It's more of a curiosity thing. Anyway, and we have a relatively new Facebook page. I don't know what it is, but just search for By the By
Podcast.
That's what it is. By the By Podcast.
Yes.
There's a bunch of other By the Bys, but we're the podcast one.
I think one other, but yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, look for the podcast one. We're probably not going to be super active on that. Twitter will be more so, but we'll at least put up when we have new podcasts and things like that. So if you check Facebook more, then it will be good for that.
I'll do my best, and I'll try to put her tits up there occasionally.
Does Facebook allow that?
Until they ban us, yes. Fight the power! All right, so lay down your Pokemon Go and pick up your podcast and follow us and listen to us. We appreciate it. You want to say anything in closing?
Nah, you got it covered.
You got it covered. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye guys.